In this lesson, we'll continue drawing our first grill using the polar array command. So I'll click on polar array, and for the objects to array, I'm just going to array this particular circle. What I'm going to do is add the number of parts to each array we do, so I have to do these one at a time. So this first one, got to find the center of the array, and that's going to be right there. So the number of items, I'm going to make that 6. Full 360 works for me, and there we go. That's our first array. Second one, let's try that again. Center of polar array. Now I'm thinking I might add 6 to each one of these. So the first one was 6. Let's make this one 12 and kind of see what that looks like. I think that looks pretty good. I'll hit enter, do this next one, and we're always going to use exactly the same center, and it's going to tell us how many items we had previously. So previously we had 12. As I said, I'm going to add 6 to this each time. So now we've got 18. Enter. Again, that looks good, I think. Apply the command again. I'm either hitting enter, spacebar, or just a quick right click to reapply the command each time. So 18 plus 6, that gives me 24. That looks good. And I'm just going to keep going through these, adding 6 each time and always snapping in exactly the same point. So now we got 30, 36, 42. And notice that last row is actually coming outside of our boundary here. So we'll keep going. We're getting close to kind of as many as we need to do here. So we got 42 plus 6, 48. Accept it. 54. And notice now we've actually used all of our arrayed circles, but we're still not quite where we need to be. So I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to go ahead and make a duplicate of this. And I'm going to use the copy command. And I want to copy from here. And I want to move to 2 away from this, and 2 away from that one. 2 more should probably do it. I'll get a couple of duplicates there. So I'll select that one, and I'll hit polar array, always from the center. 54, so this one will be 60. And I don't know if we'll end up using this last one, but let's go ahead and just array it anyway so we have it. So 60, now that'll be 66. So as I said, I'm not sure we'll use that last one I did, but we do have that there just in case. And the reason for that is most of this is kind of falling outside the circle. And what I might even do here is put a little radius on my boundary just to kind of soften this corner up a little bit. And let's try a 2 millimeter radius. Let me join these together. I should have had join switched on when I did that, but I didn't, so I can just join them individually. And under my properties command, I'm just going to go ahead and change the color of this so I can see a little bit easier. And let's change this. I'll make that a cyan as well so it kind of stands out. All right, so anything that falls outside this red is not going to be part of my actual design. If I turn the face bezel on, you can see these are all outside that surface, so we really can't use them anyway. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to click very carefully and drag from the right to the left. And I'm just going to start deleting some of these. One thing you can actually do is this is symmetrical, so we could go ahead and drag a box over this side and just kind of clean up this side of our boundary and then mirror the results over. So as I said, we're kind of working here and we're just really eyeballing this. This is going to be kind of a design decision by you of what you do or don't want to include. Let me select this last one, delete that. All right, so everything else is either inside the boundary or it's on our boundary line. So as I said, this really comes down to a matter of preference of what you do or don't delete. For me personally, I'm going to keep any circle that more than half of it falls within the boundary. Now these two are kind of close. Technically, more than half is inside. So I think I will keep them. This one I'm going to get rid of. That one I'll definitely get rid of. That one's borderline, but I do want to shake up the shape just a little bit. So these are all going to go. That's going to go. I think that one will stay. That'll go, and that will go. So I think that's going to be my shape for that one. And now I'm just going to drag a box around all the circles that are left to the right of this center line of circles. And then I'll do a transform, choose mirror, and I'll zoom in at the bottom of my line here, make sure I get a nice snap for the end of this line, which is my center line. I'll snap, hold down my shift key, and drag down. And if I bring my face bezel back, Control X to cut that. So you can see that gives us a nice kind of bezel. And I always like these little fading away sort of shapes as well. I think they're kind of nice to have on a grill. Let me undo hiding that bezel. So I want to take all of these curves. And what I can do is actually choose these curves. Since I have my other curve shapes have a different color to them, I can go under here, under Select, and press this icon, which is Select by Color. Now that'll choose everything that's black. And I'll press Ctrl G to group all of these. And I'm going to make a new layer here, and this will be called Grill 1 Curves. Let me select the color for that. Let's make those purple. And right-click and change Object Layer. So now that's our circular array all ready to go. In the next movie, we'll look at creating a rectangular array.